we are ready. I gotta get my seatbelt on first and foremost. So here we are, Paisley 5 and Dimers. I'm gonna let you take a moment to get in here, get ready to go. We are on our way for Collector Spotlight number 2. We are gonna be going to see Mike Constantine. We are in northeastern Ohio, and we're gonna go check out another collection. Mike was gracious enough to invite us into his home, which we haven't even seen yet. We're on our way there, and so we're about to check it out. I got to get something programmed in here on my GPS, and we will be on our way. Or instead of GPS, I'll call it my GCS 2000, so you all will know what I'm talking about, right? So, hope everyone's having a great weekend, getting ready for the holidays. We will be traveling to Minnesota again to go be with our family for the holidays. Hope you all are having a great holiday as well.
Who else are we going to try to catch up performing in Minnesota?
Oh, I'm not really sure right offhand. I know we love going to every concert. That doesn't matter. We love live music. We just saw Rihanna Giddens in Frankfort, Kentucky, and it was amazing. So, this guy is having a good weekend. That guy was jamming. I want to listen to what he's listening to, but I got some Wendy and Lisa. What are you all rocking to this morning?
See Phil Sims.
Hi, Phil. Getting ready to see another collection.
And Kimberly Myers Hale. Hello from South Carolina. Awesome. Who else is on here? No, we found out who was performing in Waconia near Tim and Heather's.
You know my memory is shot in.
They performed for us in Minneapolis.
We've seen everybody
the event,
in Minneapolis too.
At the Paisley 5 and Dime event.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Yeah, the Purple Experience is going to be playing, and we are definitely going. We're super excited about that. And I think it's a free show too, right?
No, it's ticketed, but it's in Waconia. It's July 7th. And hey, Christopher from Manchester, UK.
The Purple Experience is amazing. If you all haven't had a chance to check them out, Marshall, the front man for the band, the man has absolutely done his homework. He is an amazing musician in his own right. And just like we all pay homage to our hero Prince in our own way, Marshall does it by getting on stage and pouring out the love the same way in tribute. So go check out Purple Experience. It's Marshall Koloff and the Purple Experience. It's an amazing treat. Treat yourself. And they're going to be July 7th in Waconia. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, they're in Waconia. It's at the Vintage Rock and Wine. It's at the winery at Sovereign Estates, and which sounds really cool. I love wine. And it's July 7th at 6 p.m. in Waconia, Minnesota. And so we are planning to go. I actually need to get online and find tickets. But yeah, anybody, our Minnesota peeps, should plan to do that. So we've got some more people on here you want to talk about. Hey, Mei Ling, hope you're feeling better.
Are y'all ready to see a collection? I know I am. I am ready for this. I am super excited. And it says we are almost there. I wonder if this is the house, right? It is. That's the house. I almost passed it.
2804. Cool. Oh, I'm not going to give addresses.
Yeah, we're not giving addresses.
Sorry, Mike. I will cover up the street sign. Sorry, I put my hand in front of the thing. We can't have anybody, trying to jump in and,
So I think we're okay here. We're gonna say goodbye to Wendy and Lisa for a moment. Funk like that is hard to turn off. You feel me? Wendy and Lisa.
Let's crack these
My
windows.
God, they are so funky. And then you put them with the Revolution, and it's so. We're gonna get a sponsorship with Subway. Eat fresh. That'll be $10,000 from Subway right
It's
there.
the closest fresh food you can find. Okay, we ready? So is it Ian from Manchester, UK? Hey there. Forgive me if I'm butchering anybody's name. Seriously.
And for those of you that don't know, you always open your queen's door. Always open your queen's door.
He's a gentleman.
Mama taught me right. So, his name is Mike Constantine. Beautiful home. And so we all know that you never know what kind of purple lurks behind.
It feels like MTV Cribs.
Well, this is like MTV back when they actually had music. We remember those days, don't we? Before the real world messed it up.
Yeah.
So this is like real though.
Did you warn him? Hey, Mike.
They exist in the flesh.
Oh my God!
Welcome to the booming metropolis.
Hey,
of
Mike.
Union.
Pleasure
How are
to
you?
meet you.
He warned you that we were coming in live,
Yeah,
right?
Beautiful wife, MsLulu. Yeah, miss
How are you? Great
Thanks
to
for
see
coming.
you.
Good to see you.
Look
Come
at
on
you,
in.
repping.
You enjoying this heat?
Yes.
Well, you're
Well,
from Kentucky though. So.
Yeah, we're a little bit further south. How you doing,
Abby?
Hi,
Who's
Abby.
Eric?
I'm Eric. Nice to meet you. And you are.
Hi, Abby.
You're on
We're
Facebook Live.
we're
Abby.
blasting your dad on live
You only got
here.
about 7,000 people.
We'll keep the rest of the house covered.
It's not that bad.
Oh, there's my wife Shannon.
Hi, Shannon.
Miss Shannon.
How are you? We're putting you on live.
Pleasure to meet you.
Great to meet
My wife.
you. Me too. Thanks for letting us come in. I'm sure you were like, what?
I was like, Shannon, people want to come and check out some of my print stuff. She's like, oh no, we have to. So she's like, oh, this is Landon. This is our youngest.
Hi, Landon.
Hi, Landon.
How are you?
And we do this at the house too. If somebody wants to come out,
Yeah.
we want to come see the 5 and 9. We want to come look around. I'm like, sure, come on. And then she's like, you did what?
Yeah.
I do. I'm like, can you please just give me like a little
warning,
So,
exactly.
Yeah, but we did the one with Tim.
Yeah.
Did you catch that?
Yeah, I mean, I told Shannon, my stuff pales in comparison to
That's
his.
No,
I've had
that's-
several people that I've talked to and asked them, say, hey, we're gonna come do a collector spotlight with you when we come to your town, and they all say the same thing. It's like, oh no,
Yeah.
no, I just saw that one, and no, I don't want to do it. And everyone's collection level is
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
And Bob Pompo, he's the big collector out of Chicago, Chicago area, and he and I've had this discussion many times. Prince didn't even have everything Prince did.
Yeah.
So whenever you kind of put
especially when you see the
perspective-
stuff like I'm showing up on auction,
Yeah.
that he didn't have anymore, and
So there's no way to have it all. If someone had, well, our entire basement looks like a Prince store.
Yeah, right. I've seen pictures.
That's not even 20% of what exists.
Yeah, right.
So,
Eric, I was trying to remember. Did you worked at Glam Slam, right?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought there was a connection to the Glam Slam retail store.
the
MPG.
MPG retail
MPG
store.
retail store. Yeah.
Yeah, that one actually got launched, and I helped them launch that.
That's
too,
what
some
it
other
was.
people.
Yeah.
But no, I wasn't in on the Glam Slam, and I actually never got a chance to work at the store that I kind of helped create.
I gotcha.
It's still heartbreaking, but I
Yeah.
wish.
We all have those heartbreaking moments.
Yeah,
for sure.
I would have met my lovely wife about 25 years sooner had I taken
Wow.
the opportunity.
Are you from Minneapolis?
I am.
Nice.
And I was living in Uptown, and I used to go to that store.
So if I had taken that job that I was offered years and years ago, I would have met her sooner.
Shannon had her first visit to Chanhassen last
Yeah.
summer.
Yeah.
We went up to.
It's really a pretty
Paisley.
area.
Did you enjoy it? Yeah.
We gave her the whole Prince-related tour.
Yeah.
Everything you could think of: Electric Fetus, the Purple Rain House,
Yes,
Oh, absolutely.
all that. Just Tyka's house, the little house,
Yep.
and Andre Simone's house. We did the whole thing, and she was a trooper, and we got to write our name in the.
You are a
Riley-
trooper.
Riley
We
Creek
went
Tunnel
along.
and the whole
He loves
deal.
it.
So-
Yeah.
So you kind of led right into the next thing. So Are you a Prince fan as well, or kind of you just tolerate the whole thing?
No, I mean I like him, not to the extent that
Exactly, that's what we're getting
he's at, but yeah, no. I mean,
He's got his Prince area.
Yeah.
Right?
Prince.
That's very common and it happens. So I have kids as well, and they're always growing up going, Dad, why are you still playing Prince? So is it like that for you too?
No, I don't mind it, honestly.
Tell them how you order when we go to the ice cream shop in Hilton Head. What
So
do you
we
order?
went to a Hilton Head ice cream shop and they had a raspberry sorbet. And so I told my dad that I wanted that, and he said, "I dare you to sing it like
And you
Sing
sang
raspberry.
it? Oh,
So give the 8,000 people on Facebook Live a little taste of how you order.
She's like, what?
Yeah. What kind of sorbet would you like?
I'll have a raspberry sorbet."
Okay,
Yeah.
seriously. All right, that's awesome. All right, that just made this whole,
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
whole,
you're gonna get watched like
we don't
all
even
the-
need to
all
see the
the-
collection.
Abby's, she's probably, so we have 3 kids. Our middle's at a birthday party now, but Abby's probably my biggest supporter in terms of like passion for something. She is a passionate like Harry Potter fan and collects
Oh.
Harry Potter stuff.
That's awesome.
So you get the collecting thing.
Yeah, she gets it. My son is getting there, our 9-year-old. He's into sports cards and stuff, so
Oh, yeah.
as I was, and that's all my non-print stuff in there. But yeah, so the collection bug has gotten him. Our youngest, he just cares about Minecraft at this point.
That's
So
that's
do you
okay.
rock
He's
your
building
paper
that
grid,
archi-
or is
What
this,
is-
Do I?
Did you say I
you're
heard
always
that?
rocking
I think you said I heard
something.
that.
Yeah, he wants to know if I'm always rocking a print shirt. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So I was like, which one should I wear? Should I wear like one of my old ill-fitting
Yes, he's
concert
wearing
t-shirts,
the-
which you'll see downstairs, which wouldn't have been a good sight for anybody.
Wear my old ones either.
Yeah, and then, or should I wear one of the new ones, like the Paisley Park Lyric one from Paisley, or the purple one? And I was like, you know what, I haven't worn this one much, so I didn't go to the celebration. Sadly, you know, when you have 3 kids, you don't have the disposable income.
I understand.
But I did order it, so yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, good, yeah. So yeah, well, should we head
This is a
downstairs?
gift for the hang on the fridge.
Awesome.
She's like, oh, awesome. Another Prince item.
It's in the kitchen this time.
It's in the kitchen.
Fantastic.
We did have a Prince magnet in the kitchen,
Yeah.
but I had to utilize it temporarily in the basement to hang up on the posters. and
Yes.
all that
Even
rolled up.
better. I
Yeah,
love that.
so-
I love this. So, is everything in the basement? Is that
Yeah, I moved
Keep it
because
on?
you know why? Because it's so much cooler down there. We have the air on up here,
Oh, yeah.
but it still feels warm. And I work from home, so I like to be surrounded by my stuff. I'm a instructional designer for an insurance company, so it helps.
Fantastic.
And I create stuff, so it sort of helps me get into
The
that.
creative flow.
Yeah, right.
Love
I
that,
have my
yeah.
guy around me, so yeah.
I get it.
Oh, I love that.
Let's
Okay, I
check it out.
promise I won't like video the entire
What's
house.
up? No, it's all good.
This is the Minecraft young
I
man.
like it.
Where are the toys?
Yeah, so there's the print section and there's the kids section.
Thank you so much for letting us come in.
Oh, into the
Oh,
purple.
can you hear it?
My daughter,
Domicile.
she made something special for you guys on the chalkboard here.
Oh, your daughter did. Okay,
It's not that great.
look at this. So you did this for us?
She did, yeah.
That is
I
awesome.
attempted it. It didn't come out.
That is awesome.
We're getting a picture of this before we leave.
Yeah, we're totally getting a
That's
picture of that.
on the Five and Down.
Awesome. Yeah, look at you, Ab.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So come on down, we'll get started. I have a Under the Cherry Moon rolling for background. We can turn it down, but it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, if we don't turn it down, I'll start reciting it.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
recites every
Yeah,
single.
we were down here earlier, and I was just like,
You're most happy.
normal conversation. He's just sitting here like quoting the movie over here.
I get it.
Oh, this is getting towards the end too, so it's the sad part. The saddest, most campy death scene ever. Like,
Yes.
But you know, it's
Still
cheesy,
puts
but
me
it's.
It makes
all good.
everybody cry.
Oh, let me put it on the. Let me put it on the fridge here.
Oh yeah. There we go. So we have a.
So we're gonna
Chaos
start right
Disorder
there.
Yeah, I
promo
mean,
poster.
yeah,
Look at
it's
our
you know,
magnet.
I'm sure there are some Prince collectors who, yeah, this is the one I have upstairs. Purple Rain. Get
Purple
it?
Rain.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm sure some collectors will be shaking, shuddering because it's not in a frame, but you know, like it's just we've
You'd be
moved quite a
surprised.
bit with my
It's
job.
all
so,
about your
yeah,
collection.
right,
That's-
right. So
You know, you're going to collect one way, somebody else is going to collect another.
yeah.
I spy something else.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, this was from last year when they played at the House of Blues. Man, were you there? I thought I saw you in the crowd.
No, I've been to. Well, we've been to about 10 or 11 Revolution shows.
Yeah, I mean, they were just awesome. And
we
it was,
didn't make Cleveland.
It was just amazing because I never actually had seen the Revolution play with Prince. I started going to Prince concerts after that, so to see them was sort of sweet and sour,
Yes.
right? I mean, it was awesome to experience them live, but obviously something missing.
Yes,
so,
yes.
But they were amazing, and hoping that the NPG brings their tour to Cleveland as well at some point.
Yes,
So,
I'm sure they
NPG
will.
just announced a First Avenue show.
I saw that. It's going to be on pay-per-view, too, for like...
It is.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
they're going to
For
pay-per-view it.
$10. So,
Yeah.
I'll
So
be
how
sitting
much did
down
we spend
here.
on tickets?
Well worth it because it's all for the PRN Alumni Foundation.
There you
so
go, yeah. Which
that's
is an
right.
awesome cause,
So yeah, and that was part of the VIP package, or were they selling those?
So they were
or-
selling those. We did buy the VIP, which it was a small club, but there was no meet and greet, sadly. So, but they were selling these at the merch table. So VIP got to go to the merch table.
That's
with
awesome.
Everybody else and got to go ahead and get that.
Fantastic.
So, yeah, it was a
We
great
got
show.
some promo posters.
What's
and we got
what's
here
that on? I'm sorry. Before we move, what's
Oh, right here. Mm-hmm. This is one of the placards from the 3121 show when he played at the Rio. There are more over there, but anytime anytime I see something with him, I gotta pick it up or whatever. So I've traveled quite a bit for work and have had the luxury of happening to be where he was on a couple of occasions.
So it's 3121 Vegas.
Yeah, the
residency?
Rio show. Yeah, the residency.
Yeah, that's
so-
awesome.
Yeah, so
That's
I don't know
really
I got
why-
some memorabilia from that, but I didn't get to go see him.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll just move down the line and go.
Yeah, I just had my coffee out of it. This
I need you
morning.
kind of like closer so I can get you both in the frame
Oh,
when,
okay.
as you're moving around.
Yeah, two big guys, like two big sexy guys like
Yep.
us. You know, how we do, right?
He understands it perfectly. So is this from?
So this is from
Piano and Microphone?
This is from Piano and Microphone.
The gala?
The gala event.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and
That's the
early
exclusive
show. And I like to, you know, it's kind of like, I don't know if you're a sports fan, but in Cleveland, there's a legendary story about a Cleveland Indians pitcher that pitched a perfect game back in the 70s, and there were literally about 7,500 people in the stadium. But if you talk to people in Cleveland, everybody says they were there. So
Yeah.
I like to, when I saved this, I was like, well, I need to save everything that came in it to prove to people that I was there,
Yeah.
including my ticket email and everything, right? Because
That's
people be like, oh,
awesome.
you know, you weren't there, but yeah, no, I saved everything. So I got like my, you know, there it is, like the message on how to get in there and
That is
you know,
super
all
cool.
this stuff. And then, so this is what was in the box, an unopened copy of Musicology. That was the VIP thing that you had to wear around your wrist. And every box had a different T-shirt, so I was kind of lucky that I was kind of happy that I
Many
got
of them had different
Yeah.
I
CDs
love
as
it.
well.
Yeah, right.
So the MPG
So the
Music
MPG
Club. That
Music
so
Club.
they had
and
some.
then the other thing that was in here was Hit and Run Phase 2. So that's just that's not in here now. 'cause
Right.
I played it, but
We
I
listened to that.
I haven't saved all the purple confetti, but
Yeah.
that was such a remarkable day. And the thing that's funny is I happened to be there in Minneapolis for work. My company has an office in Eden Prairie, which is just down the road from Chanhassen, as you know. And so I lucked out when I got the tickets, but I don't check bags when I travel. I try to travel light, but I got this, and so I had to find a wall. And I was leaving early the next morning on the January 22nd. So I had to find that there's a Walmart like not too far from Paisley, and I bought this big duffel bag just to put this in because I didn't want to check it. I'm like,
Oh no!
I can't
Yeah,
check
you're
Oh,
not
that,
no,
checking
right?
no,
that.
no.
Good call.
And so
Good collector's call.
the duffel bag finally broke down, but I was like, Shannon, I can't get rid of this duffel bag. This is what.
Of course
you
not.
know, but yeah.
Shannon's like, please.
The handle was broken. and
Please
all
get
that.
rid of
I'm
the
like-
duffel bag.
I'm like, no. But,
So we gotta put the confetti back.
yeah,
in
we got
there,
to put the confetti back in, and then the other thing that we'll kind of bounce around. The other thing that came with it was this poster, the piano and microphone poster with the, and then this was the VIP lanyard that they gave you that night. But I mean, gosh, that was just, I still get chills thinking about that show because never did I think that would be the last time I saw him.
Right.
Just 2 short months before he passed, and like front row. I mean, you've been in those setups, and like so first row here, stage right there, right? And it's like, wow, just him and the piano, and he was so raw that night, like in terms of like sharing stories about his dad and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. So it was pretty awesome, and I'm so happy that I went. I remember I bought the tickets the day they went on sale, and I was sitting in my in-laws' driveway because I couldn't connect to their Wi-Fi in their house, and I was just sitting out in the car with my iPad hitting like refresh,
Getting the hotspot, yeah.
to buy the ticket. And I ran in and I said, I got a ticket to this, because I was going to be there for work, to the Paisley show. And she's like, how much did it cost us? And I was like, hey, what's for dinner? You know, like, let's not talk about that. But, yeah.
Let's enjoy this dinner tonight, because we may not be eating for the rest of the month.
Money I'd ever spent. I think it was like $250, but like, oh my gosh,
yeah,
it was just like unbelievable. So, you know, because I'd seen him so many times in arenas and stuff, but never had been to Paisley a number of times, but never had seen him in a concert there.
Yes.
So wow, and then just like beforehand, they let you in the NPG Music Club for, there was like a VIP like little like food thing, and you know, just hanging out and just soaking it in, right?
Yeah.
Being in his house and watching him play, and man, I tell you, it was just unbelievable. So.
I got that privilege one time. All the times I was at Paisley, I only got to see him play there once.
Yeah, that
was it was supposed to be a listening party. We were going in for an album listening party.
Yeah.
And they started playing some of the cuts off the album, and didn't even make it through the album, and the stage lit up, and there it was.
It's unbelievable. I mean, I can still remember, like, because there was a section where you could sit on pillows right in front of the stage, but this old chubby guy can't sit on pillows for
we found chairs.
So I was in the front row of chairs, like, and I've seen some video on the tour, and I'm like, I think that's my head right there, but like, front row, and it was just, oh my god, like, and when the smoke sort of came and the doors opened and he walked up on stage, it was just unbelievable.
Did you make it to any of the celebrations?
I have not made it to any of the celebrations yet.
Last celebration this April, they showed one of the gala shows on video.
The full show?
They showed probably almost an hour of it.
Oh man, that's fantastic.
So it was
of the early show or the late show?
I don't recall which one it was, but it was quite moving.
Yeah.
Because they showed this whole thing with the smoke and the doors opening, him coming out, and yeah, it's very emotional. I've heard the shows several times.
Yeah.
On audio, but I hadn't had a chance to see it, and so that show at Paisley for celebration, and it was quite moving. So I couldn't even imagine.
I know. At the end of the show, when I'll never forget, he said, you know, this was a first. I was here, and so were you. And I was like, wow, like, you know, like he had never ever played by himself solo with nothing but that was like, this is history.
It is. History. It's absolutely.
It is history.
So it's great. So
out of all the times you've seen him, some of these shirts, some of the concert tours.
Well, some are from tours, and some are.
I'm laughing because I have to take my glasses off to look that close, and then I'm like stretching my neck.
This is from the Glam Slam Club in Los Angeles. Back in
Glam Slam LA.
Yeah, it was probably. I think this was before the days of the internet. So back then, like, I had to dig up the phone number. It was on Figueroa, I think, in LA, and like somehow I made contact with, I think it was like the club manager or something, and I was like, hey, we're going to be in LA. I know it's during the daytime, the club's not open. We'd like to come check it out because we're not going to be back there. And I wish I could remember the person's name, but they were awesome, and they like met us. The club wasn't open. They let us in. They let us buy merch.
That's fantastic.
They let us walk around.
Yeah.
And, like, I still think to this day that he was there somewhere, because if you've been in that club, or if you were in that club, there was like a balcony, and up at the top there was a candle burning, and I'm like, why would there be a candle burning in the club in the middle of the daytime unless he was just chilling
at his table?
Yeah, I don't know if it was his table or not, but I was like, wow, right? So. I don't know, but that was the first of a couple of weird sort of like chance interactions I feel like I've had with them, aside from touching his hand, which we'll get to in a future story.
All right.
I don't know how much time you guys have, but
we're here.
It's like, oh boy, she's like,
no, we're
like,
here.
Should we invite him for dinner? I'm like, hey, man.
We just had Subway. Fresh. We just did the commercial on the
Then this is one of my favorite. Again, none of these shirts fit me anymore, sadly, and I just don't know if I could. Like, I tried one on a couple of weeks ago, and Chan's like, yeah, don't. So,
yeah, no good.
But like, this is one of my favorite shirts.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I love how the flower makes
so like,
a symbol.
I only have one tattoo, and it's not a Prince one, but I think if I were to get one, it would be something like
That's
that.
going to be part of my sleeve.
Yeah.
I'm going to be finishing up.
Oh, see, that's awesome right there. Yeah.
At one time, I had the Revolutions all sign it.
Did you?
Yeah, and I was going to get that inked in, but Didn't make the arrangement fast enough.
Yeah. So there's that one, and then this is obviously from the Jam of the Year tour. This one is showing its age. I mean, it's just been packed away, but
Was that from Cleveland?
Yeah, but white sort of yellows after it gets old. I don't think this is a concert shirt. I think it's just a shirt I bought at like a record. We used to have for you young kids watching, there used to be record conventions where we'd go and we'd buy stuff. But
It's not young kid. We still go to them.
yeah, well, I don't see many of them anymore. But
Well, there's a chance that there may be a Prince record convention in Kentucky in October. So
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
Now that I got a friend in
We're
Kentucky,
trying to set
friends
that
in
up.
Kentucky. So yeah, I just think he's probably still to this day one of the most underrated guitarists. So when I see him with his guitars and just sort of like in a zone, I had to have the shirt. So that was that one, and then this is the Jam of the Year shirt. I actually had two of these. I made my first sale on the Paisley 5 and Dime last week. I sold one of these.
Awesome.
And it was great. It was super easy. I had purchased things in the past, but I'm like, let me try and sell something. It's like, let's give it a shot. I don't need to. Somebody else could enjoy it. And it was up there for a couple weeks, and I just kept adjusting the price because, as you say, like, hey, if it's not selling, check the price, right?
Yep.
And so I dropped it a couple times, and it sold, man, and it was easy peasy and.
Awesome.
Yeah, so this is kind of a cool thing that
we're digging the gnome already.
Yeah, my brother-in-law, who lives in Michigan, made that for me for Christmas. So Terry Miller up in Bay City, Michigan. People are seeing your Prince gnome all over the world.
We gotta check out his mustache here. I'm gonna take the camera. I want to get a close up on that mustache.
Yeah, my friends come over and they're like,
Now, see,
"What is that
we just need
wizard
a
on
little
your-"
A little mole. That's what I told him. But
little mole right there.
I don't want to mess up his creation. So.
Look how beautiful his little face is. He's got the big doe eyes, too.
Yeah, exactly. But I won't put him outside because these are garden gnomes.
Oh, no.
But what I think is awesome about that is that it's your brother-in-law who did it. Your brother-in-law knows
Totally.
that this is a passion of yours.
Oh, it's great.
And for them to think, you know what, I want to do something special for him. It may not be my passion, but I want to do something to acknowledge it. That's why that little Prince gnome is like.
It was great. So at
that's
Christmas,
why it's
like he gave it to me.
It's such a
last
heart
in front of
gift.
everybody,
Yeah.
And I was like, this is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like it just made my Christmas.
Yeah.
Like people who really know me will make things. Like I'll show you some stuff that Abby and her brother have made me here.
Oh.
You saw the first collector spotlight we did. The other collector, Tim, his daughter was sitting at the table.
Yeah.
And she had made some little plates and decorations with symbols on them for us as we came through. And I still have those.
We have her plate,
that's awesome.
with the Prince symbol.
Shannon, they love Terry's gnome.
"Oh, isn't that great?"
That's fantastic.
We love the fact that he loves him enough that he knows that that's a passion of his, and he wanted to enhance his collection.
Yeah, he was just here last weekend, and he's like, "Hey, where's the gnome?" And I'm like, "It's downstairs."
Where's the gnome?
So we got the celebration books over
Yeah,
here.
so just again, haven't been to the celebrations, but I bought. I think I bought one when I was at Paisley, and I mail ordered the other two from Paisley. But those are great.
There were
books.
4 books.
Well, wasn't one specific to.
One was only for the VIP.
Yeah, see, I don't
and stuff
think
like
this
that.
is just. You could buy any of these on the Paisley Park site.
Yeah, those are the public
still
books.
Available. Those, and if not, eBay's even got some of those around.
Yeah.
But the other one's a little exclusive. I think I know where you can get them.
Oh man.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You need to finish off that collection. I know where you can do that.
This is probably my favorite of the three. All the guitars. I mean, and the history and the story behind them, and I even saved our Paisley Park water bottles from when we went on the tour.
Oh, yeah.
Last year. You got to save that, right? And brochures. So we were at when we were at MSP and waiting for our flight. There was the little visitors thing that had a bunch of those. So I helped myself to a generous portion. I even put something on the. I think it was on the 5 and 9. I said, "Hey, if anybody wants one, just send me a self-addressed stamped envelope, and I'm happy to mail you one." I got a couple, so people are digging it. I always love to.
Absolutely.
Some people can't get there, so it was kind
Somebody
of cool.
somewhere.
That's why those
doesn't have it.
pickups are
And
great.
that's
Exactly.
why the fans looking out for each other really helps out. And even 2 of the comics.
Yeah.
There
So
was
actually,
3
well,
of
so
those around. So I think I may have.
I got 2 of
No worries, Abby. Thank you.
and then one of this one. And there was a Rockstar I think it was called Rockstar
It was Rockstar Alter Ego, and it's the one with him on the motorcycle.
Yes.
On the cover.
Yeah, I don't.
That
have
was actually the first one, and then this one was Steve Hart.
Yeah.
Worked on this one,
It was amazing. There's
Three
Steve's
chains
name
of gold.
right there. Steve, your book is amazing. I hope someday I can get it signed by you.
We might be able to get that arranged.
Yeah, right over there, picturing
Yeah.
Prince. But yeah, just amazing, amazing stuff, right?
Oh yeah, his work is always amazing. That's why we love doing those exclusive prints
Yeah.
that we do with him.
And then just
Maite.
yeah, and just stuff that probably most fans have at this point. You know, Maite's book and a couple of this is a fantastic book by Alan White. The next one we're getting ready to go on vacation here in a couple weeks. I think I'm going to stop and pick up the Purple Rain Sessions book. You know that talks about
Dwayne's book is yes.
great.
So I think that's going to be my beach reading this year. So
Well, and also do not forget to pick up Owen Husney's book.
yeah, famous people who met me.
Yes,
Yeah.
and he'll be in Lexington with us on July 14th
Awesome.
at the Midwest Party, and it's
Awesome.
it's going to be a great great read.
His title on that book is really unique because it's kind of a tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah.
Because everybody's like, "Who's Owen Husney?"
Yeah,
But once
right.
you start reading the book, you're like, "Wow!" He really has worked with everyone.
Yeah.
So everyone recognizes all the names he's worked with. So thinking about it in that way, the book title is genius.
Yeah.
Famous people who've met me. And so this is the Paisley Park tour book.
Yeah, I have another one over there too. So, just when they first went on sale,
Did
I
you
just
get the one
thought
from October, the one that had the date on it.
no, I think that was like you had to get that in person, right?
You had to get it in person.
And when we went up there, they were selling these. So, but
I don't have it either. So
it's a great piece. This is not the original of this book, though I love this book very much, because I think the original had
a felt cover.
So this was obviously republished, revised and updated, but some great pictures in this book too. Just
That book was already expensive before he passed, and then once he passed, the
original
cover
version, it took off.
jumped, and then when they reissued it and updated it, the original jumped even higher. So
Yeah.
the original just kept kind of going up.
Yeah,
and up.
it's awesome. But what I really enjoyed about I enjoyed Ashton's book as well, but what I enjoyed about Steve's book was like when we went to Paisley, and you just sort of see they have the chair that he used and the this looks like it's made of a tree, right?
Yes, the wood.
There's
Yes,
stories
yes.
behind that.
There was one from the Arboretum.
Yeah, the stories that Steve shared are just incredible, right? Give you goosebumps of just I think my favorite story from the book is when Prince would prank people. People would call the Paisley Park guilty back in the 80s. That's another story. And Prince would answer the phone and be like, he's not here. He'd put on that crazy country accent that he had.
Well, he did.
No,
he
we
did
don't see
many
him
voices.
much. Yeah.
And he would also, whenever people call the 1-800 new phone line, sometimes it was him.
That's
that they got.
unbelievable. Yeah.
Because it'd be late at night, and it would just be him and one other person, and they're working, and they're kind of killing time at Paisley. So they're sitting there talking and hanging out and talking about life, and the phone would ring, and I'll grab it, and he'd just do whatever crazy voices. And he'd take the phone call, and the person he's working with is filling the order, but people from Europe were calling. It's daylight to them. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, Chanhassen, and there's Prince taking a break from the studio, eating a bag of Doritos.
I will tell you that, so growing up as a kid in the 80s, it was a cool thing when you had a phone in your bedroom, right? It was before mobile phones.
Yes.
So I had a phone up in my bedroom when I lived with my folks, and I was such a Prince fanatic that I found the number for Paisley Park by calling information. That's for you young kids used to call, hey. So I got the number, and I literally would just call at all hours of the night, hoping that somebody would pick up. Sadly, nobody ever picked up. But I could totally relate to that story. I think that's my favorite story of people just calling there. So
he has shared. Steve is a personal friend.
Yeah.
And he shared some stories with me that, it's touching, and people that worked so closely with him. Once he passed away, then they start seeing all this love pouring in around the world. They're like, "Wow, I knew he was famous, but wow, they didn't know the magnitude."
Yeah.
And even Steve, some of the pictures, he's like, I would just hear him coming into my office,
Yeah.
and we just sit and chit chat.
The other funny story in there that's one of my favorites is I forget what CD it was. He's like, hey, can I listen to that CD? And he's like, you can buy it from me, Steve said to him. And he goes, okay, I'll give you the money. And then every time he said he would ask Prince for the money, and he's like, oh, I don't have any pockets, man. So
Yeah.
like, he didn't have the money.
He never had pockets.
No, it was great.
He never had pockets.
But yeah, it's a great book. I mean, it's,
So I see you've got some vinyl.
yeah, no, I know how the Five and Dime feels about, unofficial
We all
things.
have them. We
Yeah.
just can't
Yeah,
advertise.
So we're gonna walk through.
So we're gonna
We're gonna
but
walk
there
through
is-
some
I
vinyl
will
right
say
there.
that one.
Yeah, we don't see
Yeah.
those.
We're not going to talk about how cool the last one is. And how, it's one of my personal favorites. We're
Yeah.
not going to talk about
The
how
one with Mr.
awesome
Davis.
it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
So in college, I worked for my campus newspaper, and I was a section editor. So I think most of my collection probably reflects like print stuff, books and magazines. I just sort of am fond towards that. But so that's probably why you see a lot of stuff here. But this is probably one of my favorite pieces from back in the day when I worked at the newspaper. Yeah, they would send press kits, and there was a press kit for Graffiti Bridge. And so you could, I mean, it's so funny when you look back at the typeset that they would include with these.
Yeah.
It literally looks like somebody punched it up on a typewriter and just photocopied it and included it, right? But to me, the great part about the press kit are the photos. And you guys have
It's got the 8x10 glossies.
Yep, seen these.
And for those of you watching, this is immaculate condition. Now that one's not included. That
Yeah,
one's a separate one.
I'm not sure, I just had it in there, but yeah, so there's that one.
Wow.
He and Ingrid, which I'm happy to see her coming out of the woodwork now with her
Yeah.
new music,
Yeah.
right? And Morris Day in the Time. We're going to see Morris Day in the
With
Time
Jill.
here in a couple of weeks. Front row at Kane Park in Cleveland Heights. So come on out, Purple Fam, and happy to
Awesome.
meet you. So I can't wait for that. That's going to be fun. So yeah, that's
Morris and the guys still put on an amazing show.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Absolutely fun. Have you seen them before?
I've never seen Morris Day in person,
Oh.
so I'm very excited about that.
Well,
yeah.
it's not the original 7.
Right.
You know, we all know that. but
Monty and
Monty's
Monty,
there.
Jelly Bean, and Morris
Yeah.
are all the originals.
Yeah.
The person that filled in for Terry Lewis is Freeze.
Okay.
He's the bass player. Freeze has played
He's
with
fantastic.
Morris for over 20 years.
Awesome.
So he's actually been with the Time longer than the person he replaced.
Wow.
Freeze is an amazing musician all on his own. He's done work with numerous artists, but that's his touring gig.
Cool. And then who's the
he's so
the
funny.
valet? It's not Jerome. It's somebody else.
Thomas Austin.
Okay.
Thomas Austin. I spoke to Thomas a few times, and Jerome and I were friends, so seeing somebody filling in your
It's
buddy
a-
spots, it's a little
Yeah,
weird, but
yeah, right.
when I spoke to him, I said, I really like how you're pulling this off. You're actually doing a really good job with it.
Great.
And he's like, his reverence for Jerome. And he said, hey, I loved it. I can't believe I'm doing this
Yeah.
too. This is humbling for me. So knowing that he kept it in that perspective, and this is him showing his tribute,
Right.
is by performing it.
Yeah, that's
silly.
great.
So
Yeah, we're
hats
pumped.
off to Thomas Austin
We're pumped.
and the guitar player, the lead guitar player
Tori.
is Tori. He has his own band called Freak Juice. in
Okay.
Tulsa,
They're
Oklahoma.
fantastic.
They are fantastic. But he had to take over Jesse's spot. Poor guy.
Yeah.
And
Talking
not
about
only
big
did he
shoes
do it,
to
he's
fill.
played with Morris for over 20 years also.
Yeah, we're pumped. It's an outdoor amphitheater. It's a small venue. It's like in a city park. Are we losing connection or something? Oh,
Nope.
No, you're just
No, we're gonna go across the table and show
Yeah,
some
the connection
crystal
feel was
ball.
fun. Yeah. Yeah, help yourself. I mean,
Beautiful. And the condition on all these is so
Yeah.
immaculate.
So which one is that?
this is, well, you probably know more about it than I do.
Crystal Ball, it's I just thought it was one of the most beautiful magazines that came out at the time.
We can open it if you want. Take a look and show it to the people.
Bob's jumped in. Hey Bob, and hey everyone who's here. Bob's saying that Mr. Freeze injured his shoulder, so he's out for a little bit.
Okay.
He wasn't at the Chicago show that Bob was at last
Oh,
night.
got it. I keep
So-
forgetting there's people watching.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. How many people are watching?
Well, we've fluctuated between. I can't tell. We fluctuate between 20 and 15 and
Awesome.
20, and right now we're at 13, but I think there's more because it doesn't
Well,
show me
yeah,
everything.
That's all good. I'm just happy you guys
Yeah, these are
picked
some-
me, man. I mean, like, listen,
Oh, we're thrilled that
if
you
funds
let
were
us in.
unlimited, I would be your best customer.
Yeah.
Trust me. But 3 kids,
You'd
you know,
all
and
be supporting each other.
Yeah.
So this is the crystal ball.
Yep.
Yep.
Crystal ball book, and this,
It is
these were
absolutely mint. It
most
is
of the European
completely perfect.
Love Sexy. Yeah, beautiful condition. I'm jealous. I've got this and was happy to get it, and mine's nowhere near this condition.
So you said
beautiful.
that the print media is really
Yeah, that's kind of like, I mean, obviously anything Prince related, right? Or Prince associated, act related. But I mean, I think, like, for me, I love to read. So, especially when it's about Prince. But yeah.
I have Angelo saying Crystal Ball, the UK magazine, love it.
Awesome. Thanks, Angelo.
And the Love Sexy tour book.
Love Sexy Tour
Funny
book.
part is,
88.
this is what I paid for it back in the day. So I don't know, what was that say, $7.50 or something? I
Yeah.
don't know, but like, yeah, I mean,
This is an example of why collections are so.
It
ahead.
doesn't matter what you pay for it. I mean,
Yeah.
once it's in your collection, you could have paid $50 for it, and then 2 weeks later, it was worth $1.
yeah.
But then you pay, $1 for something that 3 years later is worth
Yeah.
$1,000.
No, I'm
It always fluctuates, and yeah, the Love Sexy '88 book, and if you were a collector, the Japanese leg of that tour, the book was different.
okay.
It's the Love Sexy '89 book, and the only thing that's different is the stickers and all the dates have changed.
Gotcha.
So if you can find those, they're a little more rare since it was a shorter tour in Japan.
Sorry, he's playing
No.
Fortnite, so
That's
the
okay.
big thing with kids now. He wants to be down here with us, I think.
We all recognize this book.
We love him being down
Oh
here.
yeah.
Yeah. So
This happens to be one of my wife's favorites.
Now-
Yes, I
sad story of this is
absolutely
that
love this book.
I
And
don't know
look,
what
it's
happened to
the-
my dust jacket. Like, I usually would take my
That's-
dust jackets off.
Yeah.
Because, like, when I read them, they tend to rip or
Right.
whatever. And I must have placed it in a box somewhere, and for the life of me, I can't find the dust jacket.
It'll
But,
turn up.
Yeah, the best part is that, that you can see the book is in great condition. And
Terry, the photographer that did all those photos, we got to meet her
yeah.
in Minneapolis, and
Oh no,
it
not
was-
at all, Angelo. Thank you for sharing. We want
Oh.
people to jump in and comment. He was saying,
Yeah.
"Oh, Eric is just telling this about the crystal ball." No, please, we love that you're there with us. Everybody who's there.
Please,
hey,
please
Kimberly.
keep
Welcome to Uniontown,
Tania.
Ohio, the booming metropolis.
Yes. So the book is
Sacrifice Victor.
yes.
Sacrifice
Yep.
Victor.
Yep. I just want you to. I'm sorry,
No.
you all were talking and he
No.
jumped in, and I just wanted to describe for people since we don't have the dust jacket.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite pictures. In the
I love
book,
that
actually.
photo.
Yeah.
I love the photo when he's looking at the two girls.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's looking down one's top.
He's looked at
Yes.
so many girls. It's hard.
Yeah.
to-
Oh, yeah. That's true. You're like, which girl? Yeah. Which two girls?
But yeah, I mean,
No,
just-
I love the book.
you just see the passion for him in the crowds, right? I mean, that's a candid shot. I like that shot a lot. He's just on the tour bus there. And there's just so many great pictures. That was actually the picture on the dust
Yes.
jacket. So, yeah. So if anybody's selling just the dust jacket on the 5 and dime, hit me up.
Well, it's
It could happen.
It could happen, and we had an opportunity to meet the photographer. I did, and I think Eric had met her previously, and
No, that was my first
was
time
it?
with you.
And it was so great.
Yeah.
And she's so down to earth.
Awesome.
And and watching the photographers on the panels at Paisley Park this year also was just amazing. They're all very grounded.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been torn about like listening to the stories of the people that work with Prince because I want to be very respectful and mindful of his desire for privacy, but in a weird way it's kind of like really cool now to sort of hear those stories from the people that work closest with him, and just to sort of, because I think it humanizes him a little bit,
Right.
like because he's Prince, right? And so to hear stories about him, like playing practical jokes on people, or playing ping pong or basketball, or it's just, or answering the phone at Paisley, it's just, it really sort of says, hey, he's just one of us, right?
Right,
I mean,
right.
He's Prince, but he was human like us, and so it was awesome.
Yeah, he
So yeah,
always had a sense of humor.
yeah. I mean, a lot of the other stuff, you know, some of the stuff.
I like that.
This is an original. This is John Bream's. I think this was the first book he did on Prince, if I'm not mistaken. Purple Rain, and there's the house on that they tore down over on Kiowa Trail. Yep. So when we were up there, I took Shannon over there. The gate's still there, and yeah. So it's.
Did you hear about the couple that just bought that property?
Yeah.
They're leaving the gates.
Yeah,
They're gonna leave the gates on.
And I also saw that Galpin just sold to a developer, which is kind of bittersweet.
Yes.
Because like I used to drive by that all the time when I'd be. So when I would go to our company's office in Eden Prairie, I would always do my self-imposed tour around Galpin.
Your Prince
Paisley.
tour.
Of course.
Yeah, by my people would be like, hey Mike, you want to go to dinner? I'm like, no, I got something I got to do, right? So I'd go and I'd like pull
So
up
you
my
were
Galpin.
like, so that's interesting. That's a topic that,
Or Red
you know,
Fox Trail.
we should talk about is, you know, the undercover Prince purple family, you know. You've got like that purple cape on underneath, you know, your work
Yeah,
attire.
you're Mike Constantine on the cover, but you know, as soon as no one's looking, it's
Yeah.
My friends, they were like, how come every time Mike comes to Minneapolis, he doesn't want to hang out with Mike, you know?
Because I'm
Yeah,
making my purple tour.
Yeah.
Exactly,
But,
exactly.
I remember one time driving by Galpin, and I called Shannon, and I'm like, wow, I'm outside the Galpin. She's like, do not call me if you need bail money. Like,
Oh,
I'm like,
wow,
no, it's
yeah.
not stalker, it's like that. But
Yep.
like, you know, but then, you know, like the houses, he owned like 2 or 3 houses right across on, it was Red Fox Circle, I think, where like, we put the band up sometimes, but so going to see those and stuff, it was just part of my thing. And there were times back in,
I love this.
I would say probably around 2008 or 9, but Paisley was empty, right? Nothing was happening there. And
Yeah.
sometimes like the gate would just be open. So I'd just walk around the grounds and just soak in the aura and, you know, clearly violating the no trespassing thing.
Yeah.
But the gate was open, so I figured like, you know, like, hey.
I got kicked off the property back in like 2015. It was the listening party I went to. We just got off the interstate from a 13-hour ride.
Yeah.
And that was going to be the destination that evening. So I was like, you know, I'm just going to pull in here and just like chill out until they start letting people in.
Yeah.
Now, I got to pull in. I parked. I got out of the car and stretched a little bit, but I was quickly greeted. Hi, how you doing? Yeah, no, you can't stay.
See, I don't know what was going on. I think there was a time, I think, when Paisley was just not a functioning place for him. He lived down in LA, or he was on tour in Europe, or there was that time when he lived up in Toronto or whatever. So there wasn't a lot of activity at Paisley. So there were times when, like I said, the gate would just be open and you could just sort of like...
Just be there.
Yeah, there was nobody there. There were no cars or anything, and I'd walk around and be outside and peer at the windows.
Growing up there, we used to, when they were building Paisley, we lived in the city.
Yeah.
And so driving to Chanhassen was like driving to the country.
Yeah, sure.
And so we would get gas money together, and whoever had a car, we would drive.
Right.
And we felt like we were driving to like North Dakota.
I bet.
And we were just driving from Brooklyn Park or North Minneapolis or South Minneapolis, and we would stalk around there and try to get an eye. And so it was interesting because you're right, there was no security.
Yeah, and it's you see early pictures of Paisley and farmhouses still, or farms still across the street. You know, now it's a very affluent area and there's a lot of development, and it's like that was the genius thing to buy out there, because he probably got the land for relatively next to nothing and it just made it into what it is. So yeah, a lot of these magazines.
How did you get your Ebony magazine? I'm just curious. Were you able to walk in and find it?
Yeah, so again, I travel a lot for work, so I'm
Right.
a lot of airports, and so shortly after his passing, every time I'd be in an airport and I'd see something with him on the cover, I'd buy it, even if it was kind of like a, you know, a dirt rag, if you will. But I had to have it. So.
Well, I asked because I had to hunt down a copy of Ebony because I
really?
couldn't find it.
Yeah.
And I even contacted
That's
Ebony,
very neat.
and I couldn't find him. I did find one, but So, let's talk about this.
Yeah, let's move on
This
down the
array.
table here.
Yeah.
We got some vinyl.
Yeah, so most of it is newer. Well, the stuff that we're allowed to show. The stuff
Yeah.
that we're not allowed to show is much older, right?
Yeah.
But so this
We
is,
can't show the stuff that we're
Right,
not allowed to
Is this
show.
a
Which, by the way,
original or a
No,
reissue?
this is a reissue.
Bob Papo has a message. He had the dust cover,
Oh.
but our girl Amy bought it from him, and it was on the 5 and dime.
Oh, darn. I
And he
missed
said,
it.
but the 5 and dime has it all.
Yes, they
And
do.
Bob is magical, so who knows? He may
Awesome.
actually, come across another,
So, you
or
know-
someone on the 5 and dime will.
Yeah, nothing too, I guess, too crazy here. Stuff that most people have, but this is probably my one of my favorite albums that he's put out in the last, 10
Artificial
years.
Age.
Yeah, I love it. Right? It's just an amazing, amazing record.
So this is original.
Yeah, that is.
May we open?
By all
Do you
means.
know anything about the original issues on these and the translucent vinyl?
No, apparently not. So yeah, I mean, I like the
We'll see
proclaim
what it
that I
is.
know a lot, but
So we're looking at Love Sexy.
Some of these had what's called virgin vinyl for
Yeah.
translucent.
Yeah, you're right, Bob. Minnesota 5 was
It's black, which is actually not as common. The translucent is cool, but when you hold the Love Sexy up to the light, you can actually see through it. The whole record
Oh,
becomes like
wow.
this really light brown, and this one is still quite black. So
Yeah,
this
is
is
it-
not the translucent one.
they don't get played very much. So I mean, because everything I just listen to, I listen to my vinyl when I get in sort of a mood and I want to listen to vinyl. But mostly I listen to it digital.
That's an exciting addition to your collection.
Yeah. So
Vinyl.
Actually had the translucent one and had to search for the black one.
oh wow, he has a way of making us little collectors feel good. But
It's true. No.
Everyone has something.
like I think the stuff that Prince put out later in his career is really where a lot of the magic lies for me as a collector. Because I thought this was an amazing record.
I loved it.
Colonized Mind is one of my all-time favorite Prince. People go, "What's your favorite Prince song?" Purple Rain. And I'm like, yeah, that's all good, but deeper than that, right?
Right.
Colonized Mind or Bob George or something like that. But so when I got
I love Bob George.
well, I was gonna. So when you guys reached out to me and I said, "Hey, my collection's small," and I was gonna quote Bob George and say, "Might be little, but it's loud," like
Hey,
the line of
Frankie.
Bob George. But
Why speak up? I can't hear
Yeah,
your
right.
collection.
so and then some of these are original in terms of original pressing. So this is an original pressing.
It's an 84 issue.
Yeah, and it's got a little bit of age on it there, but
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, still great condition.
yeah, this is a reissue.
Is this the purple one?
Yeah.
This one is?
That's the
believe
purple
so.
vinyl.
Yeah, I believe so. You can open it to double check, but I think it is. One of them's purple. Either that one or I had something else over there that reissue. Obviously, we were just watching the movie, so which
Well,
is ended.
One of the things that I just would say about the reissues is that, I think with there it is. It is
Yeah.
the purple. It is the purple.
Yeah.
I think with his transition, one of the things that's so interesting about the process is that you have people who are now all of a sudden woke. They're
Yeah,
like,
right.
what? They're like, what do you mean he's gone? Or, they had never really listened to him before or paid attention to him before. And they may not go in and flip through old vinyl.
Right.
They are online shopping, Amazon, or where most people do. And so to me, I'm not knocking anybody who's buying reissues, because if they're buying reissues, they're supporting the legacy and they're supporting the effort, and I think that's great. And also, I have some reissues, we have some reissues, and if I can listen to some reissues and not go into, not put wear and tear on an original pressing, I'll do that.
That's the thing that people forget about vinyl too. Is it wears down. I mean, so it's the more you play it.
You
it
want to
wears
cover
down.
that up?
Oh yeah, cover that up.
Nah,
We do got some. We do have a couple
We do
of
like
promo.
that, but we have to cover it
yeah, I
up.
hear you.
Promo flats. These are really cool. They're little mini posters, 12 by 12s. These flats were used in record stores. The company would, like Warner Brothers, would send this to the local shops so that instead of the shop having to buy 1,000 copies of this to display,
Yeah.
they would send these, and the shop could display like they had 1,000 copies, and it would make it look huge. But these were great promotional pieces. The stores could cut them up and make art out of them and be really crafty. So these were fantastic, and I love.
Yeah, this one you could see I had taped to my wall back in the day because there's still some tape marks on it. But yeah, I think the first time my father, may he rest in peace, walked into my room and saw prints hanging on the wall, he's like, "What?" And I was like, "Dad, it's all good, right?" But I used to stalk, for those of you in Cleveland or Northeast Ohio, Parmtown Mall, Great Northern Mall, the record stores, and just try and see if they had any old print stuff laying around.
Yep.
Sometimes I got lucky, and sometimes it was a bust, but that was all the fun of the hunt.
And this was the best part about the flats was, especially on Love Sexy, the back was different on this one. And if you get down in the little corner by the Paisley Park logo, it says promotional use only, not for sale. Yeah. Which means we had to have it.
Yeah.
That's expected.
Absolutely.
That's a promotional use poster as well. I have another poster that I have that I don't have up that's a promotional poster as well. But yeah, and then this is the reissue of Purple Rain, so nothing fancy there. But and then I got a lot of just a lot of the fan magazines that they used to get put out back in the day.
That one's fantastic. That one's fantastic. And
Let's look at those.
wow, you got all three of them.
Well, I think I'm missing number 1, right?
4,
2, 3, 4. And then you guys, I'm guessing they don't publish Controversy magazine.
No, Controversy's not published anymore.
But this was,
Janice just checked her Love Sexy album, and it's the see-through.
Awesome.
She said, "This is fun."
Yeah, see? And this is why we do this, because there's a lot of people that didn't know that there were some translucent ones.
Yep.
So now you know, everybody can.
And Tony's like, "I want to get that Rude Boy shirt."
Yeah, that shirt is sweet. Yeah.
Hey, Frankie.
But I'm not happy. But back in the day, they put the price tags right on the
see,
cover.
that is a huge pet peeve of mine,
Hey,
even
Gav.
today.
Meet Eric and MsLulu.
Hey, how
Our
are
son,
you?
Gavin.
Nice to meet you, Gavin.
Yeah. Just going through Dad's stuff here.
So how do you feel about Dad's print stuff? Dad's got a lot of print stuff.
Yeah, he does.
Is
Pretty
it?
cool.
Oh, it's cool?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That is awesome. What's your favorite Prince song?
Well, your sister. We're gonna warn you. Your sister actually sang hers earlier.
Well, that's actually not her
or that's not her
song.
favorite.
Not my favorite.
She
What's
sang
your
her
favorite?
ice cream song.
I said I like starfish and coffee.
You like Starfish and Coffee? Yes.
Maple syrup
Have you
thing?
seen the? Oh, look at!
raising them right.
Oh, they're raising them right.
That is awesome.
What about yours, Gav? What's your favorite Prince song?
I only know a few, but out
He
of
only
the few
knows a
I
few. It's on
know,
there.
probably Little Red Corvette.
Yeah.
Hey, what's the song you like to jam to? More Stay in the Time. Do you remember the name? The Bird. Yeah.
The Bird.
Woo!
I actually got to get on stage with Morrison and dance with him.
Yeah.
During that song. So yeah, that's a really cool song. I love that one.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Kids.
Gotta rate. But he's a collector of sports stuff, and as I told you, she's a collector of Harry Potter stuff.
Awesome.
So,
Awesome.
They're
It's not
following.
even just Harry Potter stuff. I collect like a bunch of different book related.
Yeah. So they follow.
So
in
then
their
you
dad's
can
footsteps.
see your dad is taking on with the Prince books over there.
Yeah,
So
he's
he's
got-
taking on the library. And then the magazines here.
Yeah,
So
they just go on and on and on.
yeah, the whole tag on the front thing just
Drives you crazy,
bums. Oh
doesn't it?
man,
Yeah.
it drives me nuts when I see that.
But it's fun to go back and look at these sometimes because it's just, you think about how simple.
I might have to get this one. I might have to call Dennis because.
Oh,
See what Tommy's wearing?
Yes.
oh, look at these.
This,
fell out of there.
The tunic that Tommy is wearing right here.
Yeah,
That's actually hanging in our basement.
nice.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, we need a copy of that.
So this is funny.
So Dennis, I need issue number 20. Dennis is out there. I'll have to track him down to get that.
I'll show you these in a second, but then just the remaining copies of the Uptowns. But you can see they're all in pretty good shape. Pretty perfect.
yeah.
But what fell out of that magazine that Eric was looking at, I didn't even know were in there, but back in the day, so what was the date on this? Prince Fest 95. This was in Toledo, Ohio, and I have a news article that were you there? Is that why you're
I
doing
used to
it?
DJ Prince Fest.
Yeah, the one in Toledo? Yeah, well, I have a
At the
news
Ramada?
Yeah.
It was Ramada?
well, let me just grab it now. Some of the stuff I was like, they're not going to want to see that, so I didn't put it out. But
You old school Prince fans, you.
Look, I even saved like the hype stickers and stuff, right?
Oh
we
yeah,
have
you
all
definitely
hype stickers.
save hype stickers.
So here, this is the corresponding article from that event. You can see it was,
That's the one Julian was there. Okay.
and that was me when I had hair, right there in the front row.
Wait,
So that's you at Prince Fest.
Wait, Dad, you
Wait,
had
I've never
hair?
seen
Yeah,
I
exactly.
want to see.
Okay,
All right, we gotta set it
the
down.
young
here.
ones
Kids
have
can
not
see it.
seen their father.
They've seen a couple pictures. I had to prove to them that I actually had hair.
So there he is at Prince
And I'm quoted
Fest.
in the article as well. So it's kind of neat.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was you. I've never seen that picture.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
So
that's very
those
cool.
tickets that fell out of that Uptown were for that event.
Hey Tony, hey Anna, hey Sheila.
I don't even know. Is the guy still? Is he still impersonating?
Yes, Julian Stefani
Yeah.
is a friend of mine. He lives out in around Seattle.
Okay.
He's got a band that is a tribute band. He's been doing it the whole time.
That's
and they're
cool.
called Erotic City.
Nice.
1995. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
So these are
Pretty
kind
cool.
of.
That is the
That-
year.
This needs to be framed.
If
What's
you
that?
think about it,
Like
Oh, yeah.
folded.
You go
That should
back-
be framed and put on the wall.
So we're gonna have a little.
She's
So
like,
that goes to that.
Did you get there Friday night?
Yeah, oh yeah, we were there the
So
whole.
you got there Friday night for the dance party.
Yeah.
Now, do you remember during the dance party, everyone left the dance party, went out to the lobby because there was a guy out there selling records?
Yeah, I
That
do.
was me.
That was you.
That was me.
And remember, there were rumors that there was going to be like the limos had been reserved, and somebody might show up, and it was just all hyperbole. But no, it was still fun. But yeah, it was a good time. That was a prior life before all these wonderful folks. And all that. But you know, when I had disposable printing come there,
Exactly.
You
And
know.
well, the reason I was there that night is, you know, I had started raising my family,
Yeah,
and I had this huge Prince collection, but I needed money.
you need cash.
Yeah.
So I was
Who
living
did
in
the Prince
Detroit, and I
painting?
heard that there was
You did?
Prince Fest was going to be in
All
Toledo,
the
so I
stuff-
drove down to
most of the
Toledo
stuff that's in that corner
on an
over
empty
there
tank of
is
gas.
stuff
Yeah.
that
$5 in my
I
pocket,
get when
but
I'm
I
in
had an entire
So
Prince
in
collection in my
I
trunk.
probably bought some.
Father's
Yeah.
Day gifts.
There's probably something somewhere in here that I bought from you back then, because I know I went home with some stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
I sold
So-
a lot.
Yeah.
I sold a lot right there on the spot, and ended up traveling back. And I mean, I didn't have a collection anymore, but I took care of the family.
Yeah,
and all that
sure.
whole thing. And then years later, ended up relaunching the Paisley 5 and Down. The Paisley 5 and Down had only been 93, so at that point in 95, it really only got like a 2-year thing. But then the internet took off
Yep.
so broad that, you know, did you really need the 5 and Dime anymore? Didn't need a hub, because now you had search engines
Yep.
that would find stuff.
Yep.
And it just didn't seem like there was much of a market for it. Then Facebook hit, and I was like, you know what, this is kind of a cool platform for like social communities.
Yep.
I should reintroduce the
Yeah,
Paisley
it's
5
awesome.
and Dime, and then it just took off again. But it's fantastic. You've got that.
Yeah.
The guy that put that on was Blaine.
I remember Blaine. He lived in Tennessee, didn't he?
Yeah, Michigan.
Michigan,
He
okay.
lived up in Michigan, and that's what got him started. Blaine was so mad at me. I didn't know, you know, I'd never been to Prince Fest or anything like that. I didn't know what you could and could
Yeah,
not do.
right.
I just knew there was going to be some cool Prince fans to,
Yep.
you know, probably take these gems that I had, because I wasn't going to use them anymore. And then he got so mad. He's like, "We had a huge party going in here. They found out about your record collection, and the place is empty.
I
So I've got a
remember that.
DJ playing in there to nobody.
Yeah.
And everybody's in the
I
lobby.
remember
says,
that
you gotta
name.
pack your stuff and
Small
go."
world.
So then Blaine and I get to talking after everybody went back to the dance party, and I put my records up. He and I got talking, and I said, "Well, I totally want to come to the event." I said, "This is not why I showed up."
Yeah, right.
So I paid him for the whole weekend, and I was
Yep.
like, you know, I want to be here too. And we struck up a friendship, and ended up being a great guy,
Awesome.
great friend. And I ended up coming back the following year and was the DJ for several years.
Is he
after.
still collecting?
Blaine's not with us anymore.
Oh, jeez, bummer.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Blaine was a fantastic guy. He also did a Madonna Fest and Prince Fest, and I think he was even doing some other bands that he was working on these conventions.
Gotcha.
Blaine is the reason that we now do the Paisley Midwest party.
Oh, that's awesome. I got to get to one of
Because-
those. See, Shane, you got to let me get away for a weekend and go to the Midwest.
Get away.
Shannon, you need to all
Yeah.
come.
Well, we
you
need a
all,
babysitter.
you all can come.
No,
he
he's
he
doing that.
he may not tolerate it so much. You all would dig it though.
We're going to be driving through
Yeah.
Kentucky in a couple weeks on our way home. So we're going to be down in Hilton Head for vacation. And then I work for a company that's headquartered in Nashville. So we're going to go from Hilton Head to Nashville. And then
Well, if you're passing through Lexington, I don't know, on July 14th,
we'll be in. We won't be there.
Well,
we'll be after that. Yeah.
Anna's saying that her 28-year-old told her about the Paisley 5 and Dime. She said, one reason I created a Facebook account last year, and now I can't stay off the Paisley 5 and Dime.
Yeah, it's
So
interesting. Like, you know,
that just
I found
warmed
the
Eric's soul.
5 and Dime, like, I never have any intention to sell any of this stuff, right? I mean, heaven forbid I would ever need to, but I found the 5 and Dime just to sort of gauge what some of my stuff was worth and what it was going for, and that's how I found it. And like I said, I've bought a couple things. I'll tell you, the first thing I bought, God, I get so many stories, man. You guys are
Do your 4 questions.
What's that?
Well, yeah, we can.
This
I
leads
have
right
4
into what
questions,
you're
all right,
saying.
that I asked during all the. This is 4 questions I don't want to be doing during all of the collector spotlights.
And we're
but
still going through
what
this.
What was the first Prince thing you purchased ever?
That's why I said
like,
do the
how
4
old were
questions,
you?
because you were starting to say.
First Prince thing I purchased was probably a copy of Dirty Minds, which to this day is one of my favorite albums.
Yes.
Do you still have that?
I don't.
Copy that you purchased?
I don't. And there's so much stuff like
Babe.
I
You're
want
like my age, weren't you?
I want to puke whenever I think of all the stuff that I don't have anymore. And you know, life happens, right? You move. Like I'm still missing some of my favorite original pressing CDs because I had a car that got broken into and CDs were taken out of it, and you know I haven't been able to replace those. Like some of the One Night Alone stuff and you know, things like that. But and I know that stuff's out there on the 5 and Dime. It's just a matter of money, right?
Right.
So,
It absolutely is. So that was the first. And
Yeah.
how old were you when you bought?
I was probably in 8th grade, so that would have been 83 or 84. Yeah, so it was
So
awesome.
you bought Dirty Mind before Purple Rain was out.
Yeah.
That is-
But I remember when I
that's
bought,
cool.
I remember when I bought Purple Rain. I bought it at a record store in Fairview Park, Ohio. If anybody from Ohio is watching, it's on the west side of Cleveland, and the guy was kind of like a hodgepodge store. He sold records and he sold magazines and collectibles, and I bought my first copy of Purple Rain there and played it until it wouldn't play anymore, and then got the cassette and played the cassette till it wouldn't play anymore. Yeah. So,
Wore it
Another
out.
one and another one.
yeah.
So what about let's see. That was your first item. What was the first collectible piece that you got that you realized, oh, this is not a Walmart item. This is really unique, and it kind of exposed you to hey, there's a whole different collecting world. What piece was that?
I mean, probably some of this older vinyl, right? Like some of this. Like,
Oh, the CD3.
yeah, so the Japanese import for Alphabet Street. I mean, stuff like this. I kind of was like, you can't just find.
Can
this
we take that out?
You go right ahead. In Walmart, you know.
Can you talk about what that is and describe it for people?
Well, in '88, they
This is the-
issued
You can open it.
some. Well, they had some other earlier
I wanna
CDs.
see that.
No, this was one of the first CD3 issues. Was in '88. The disc is a 3-inch disc, and it was kind of like a cassette single.
Yeah,
but it was in
right.
CD form, so it was just a little mini disc, and they had these adapters that you could buy, and you put the CD3 inside here.
This
so it
actually
would play in
came
a
with
tray.
that, if memory serves me correctly. I don't know if the
Some of
record
them
store
did.
just threw it in or what, but
Some did, but the Japanese, these were called snap cases.
okay.
And the design behind this was to make it large, so there was a theft deterrent sitting in the store. You couldn't just pocket it real easy, because if it was just this big, you could just slide it in your pocket and be
Right,
gone.
right.
So they would make it larger as a theft deterrent, almost like those cases they put on the cassette.
Yeah.
Same concept. But then when you purchase this, what you were supposed to do is snap this little piece right here and take this useless piece of plastic out, and it would fold up into this nice little handy
I didn't
3-inch wallet. But collectors, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
We're leaving it.
Yeah, I don't
intact.
think I ever bought stuff like that to play. I just bought it because I thought it was cool. And there
Oh,
was,
it's fantastic, and it's great because it does have the Japanese writing on it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there used to be back in the day, again, only people from Cleveland may remember this, but there was a great store in Parma called, it was like Record Revolution or something. And the guy just knew that like I was his Prince guy, right? And so
He held stuff.
He would hold stuff, and it's long gone. The store's long gone, but that's where I got that, and it was on Pearl Road in Parma. If anybody's watching from local, but yeah. So that was probably there were a
That's
bunch
like
of things.
that was
right?
like okay, there are collectibles
Yeah, and then
out there.
some of these discs, like picture discs and stuff. You know, again,
Yeah,
not
let's see
super
'em.
common. I mean, common, but not super
That's one of my
common,
favorite.
Right? You know, you
Shaped
can't just,
picture
you
discs.
couldn't just walk into, you know, the stores back in the day and pick something like this up. You had to go to a record store. You had to, you know.
Find the conventions.
Yeah, right.
So if you can see,
The Sexy MF shaped picture disc.
so it's the symbol shape.
You have your record player too.
Very cool. I love picture discs.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. And then, you know, like some of the old Pete, when he went through his Peach and Black phase,
Yes.
colored
that one.
vinyl.
That's
you
the
know.
summer '87 pack of If I Was Your Girlfriend.
Yeah, I think sadly I'm missing one of the stickers though because I put it on a folder that I had back in college. So it came with stickers.
Mhm.
There's still a sticker in there, but and one of the others are missing. But you know, you don't see, like, I never thought about that stuff when I was a kid.
no.
It's like when
Most people
even
didn't.
even when you collected baseball cards and stuff back in the day. Like I never.
I like these acid-free sheets that you use.
Yeah, they're
on
actually
these, too.
album covers.
So that's actually a great thing to talk about. So you're using, what are you using to cover these items?
Just standard album sleeves that you would buy at a record store.
So the acid-free covers.
Yeah, right.
And what about with your magazines and your print?
I don't know the brand. I bought it on Amazon, but
same
other
kind of thing.
stickers- Yeah, I think I.
Well, that's what I was pulling it out to show
Yeah.
the collectors on there that, you know, this, it's called the Summer Collectors Pack from the summer of '87 of If I Was Your Girlfriend, peach vinyl with Shockadelica, and it had 3 cards that it came with. There were
Yeah.
2 picture cards.
Hey, JD.
So
And
here's
one
the
was
2
stickers.
picture cards, and then there was another sheet the same size that had stickers, and one said Prince,
Yep.
one had the symbols, the
Yep.
heart,
and a
peace
light
sign,
blue
and cross.
color. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have the folder still with the stickers on it, so I still have the stickers, but they're just not in perfect
Right.
condition. So yeah, when I was looking through.
And if you got that for $8.99, you did really
oh,
well.
that was years ago.
Yeah,
It's
you're
all relative, you know.
nowhere close to that price now.
Yeah, I mean, I have an idea of the pricing on some of the stuff, but again, I don't really have a desire to get
No.
rid of it. I just love it. Like, it takes me back to a special time growing up, and just how transformational he was as an artist, and how influential, and just what he means
Here's
to me.
this.
Yeah, there's a couple more of the 3121 placards. I never was able to see any of the shows at Rio, but I was out in Vegas for work one time, and you know, we went out to the Rio and took pictures of the 3121 club, you know, the outside because it was closed.
That's great. So we got Elfar from Sweden. He is saying, cool collection, greetings from Sweden.
So Lucinda is saying, I know you have 2 more questions.
We got 2 more questions to get to.
But I know Lucinda's saying, don't forget to tell the story about touching Prince's hand.
Oh, I will. I can tell that now if you want.
Okay, yeah.
So,
All right, I'll do that.
And then we can get back to your questions. We want to make sure we answer that.
Let me
So,
switch over here.
It was the Love for One Another Charities concert. I have the tickets still back here somewhere.
So it
And,
was the Love for One Another
nine-
Charities concert.
1997.
Lucinda, this is for you.
Cleveland State. I graduated from Cleveland State, but they have a convocation center, which is like their small arena, and that you could buy general admission, which standing room or seats. And so my friends and I bought general admission, and as soon as you could get in, we rushed the floor so that we could get right up front, and was just going bonkers, right?
We
when
do
it
that
came
now.
out. Yeah, and just was like just going just absolutely bonkers for the whole show. And then if you remember, well, he's done this at a lot of his tours. He would invite people up on stage, and I was one of the lucky ones. He pointed to me, right? And if you remember, I don't remember the guy's name, but he was like a tall white guy, bald-headed security guy, and he used to pull people out of the crowd if he saw him taking pictures. He'd go up and he'd take their
Bald-headed white guy with a little mustache.
Yeah.
That's Steve.
Yeah. And I think maybe Gilbert was one of the security guys
Gilbert
as well. But
Davis.
at any rate, one of those guys, can't remember which one, like said, okay, you can come over so I went over the wall. And at the time, I went up on the steps to get on the stage. Prince was on top of the piano, right? And he was doing his thing, singing. I think was still using the pistol microphone, maybe, if I'm not remembering. But so I was like, man, I gotta touch this dude. You know, it's my guy. So
I gotta
just,
touch
put
him.
up my hand, high five, and he high fived me. But this is the crazy part. He goes, Jack Nicholson in the house, because at the time
You
Like,
look like him?
People
Oh,
have said,
no.
like, I don't think so, but like I've had other people tell me that hadn't heard the Prince story. So he slapped me a high five. He's like, Jack Nicholson in the house, and then I was up there with probably like 4 or 5 other people, and we were dancing and doing our thing. But this was before the days of video.
That could have gotten you pulled backstage, into
Sadly,
the after party.
It did not. But, yeah,
What we're gonna do is now. I love that story. So all my people that I can't talk about those recordings, I have collectors out there who also try to get all those recordings. May 17th, 1997. I need that recording of that show. So if any of you out there have that show, I need that because I want to hear this Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
And
I want to see it again.
him with hair.
Yeah. I can't promise the dance moves are any good, but in fact, it was funny. We saw some old friends of mine after the Revolution show who I was at that concert with, and we were sort of, rehashing stories from our Prince time together, and same people I was at that convention with, and the one lady who was with us said, "Oh yeah, like I can't get those dance moves out of my head. Not for the good reasons. Like my dance moves weren't good, but I was like, hey, I don't care. It was
No,
awesome.
you got to get up on stage with Prince.
But what I can't figure out is why I have 2 general admission tickets or actually 2 seated section tickets and a GA ticket, and I don't know why. I saw him again on that tour at the Nutter Center in Dayton, but these are all for the Convocation Center. So I don't know if I picked 2 up that were just laying on the floor or whatever. But
I'm taking it.
yeah, I don't know.
Confetti,
but,
yeah.
And I don't know what these initials are on here. I don't know if they had to sign it before we went. I don't remember if they had to sign it before we went down, before they let people
I
down.
don't remember. I saw the Love for One on their charity tour.
But if you could find that video, man, that would be awesome.
There's a good chance that there may be an audio floating around.
Yeah.
But there's a
You'd hear the Jack Nicholson
there'd
comment
be a
in that.
very poor chance of a video.
Now,
But
it was
if we
probably
can
about
hear the
60
audio.
pounds lighter and had some more dirt on the top there. But if I had your hair, it got to be all right. But so I hope I answered her question.
Yes, that's
I touched
awesome.
his hand.
So do we have any other questions that have came through that we
let's see.
scroll back through there and just
Let me
see if
scroll
we've
through
got
for
any,
questions real quick while we're.
Any collectors that have asked anything?
Let's see.
Thanks. In the fridge in the garage.
So while
Not that
she's
I'm
looking for
seeing
those,
here.
Let's look at some Dan Lacey.
Oh, that's my dude, man. Painter Dan, Pancake Dan.
So here's some Dan Lacey work. And we have to go back to
Pancakes.
that
He's an
side of the
amazing
table over there.
artist. And I was, when Shannon and I went to Paisley last summer, I was hoping to have the opportunity to meet Dan, but he wasn't available to be out of Paisley that day. So, but I ended up buying some of his prints on Etsy, and they're just, you could see they're amazing. The one I want now is the bicycle picture, Prince riding his bicycle.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
One of the last things so Dan has painted that.
And I see that you have now when he transitioned, did you get the Star Tribune pack? The whole pack?
So I have the Star
Because these are the print.
Yeah, so my wife
the 3
ordered-
prints that came through.
Yeah, so we ordered these from the website, I think, right? The Star Tribune website. And it came with a paper.
The newspaper had the yellow.
Yeah, I have that. Yeah, I have that too. I don't know that I have that out, but I do have.
I have the newspaper as well, and
We have those hanging in our.
and we have we had the pack, but
So here's the Star Tribune, sadly, from.
That's totally cool.
thank you very much. Oh, let's put them right over there. I'm like, thank you very much.
Thanks, Admiral.
Is this you?
Yeah.
Thanks, Abby.
The newspaper was so what I really loved. Well, I didn't
Thanks.
love about him transitioning. I didn't love him transitioning, but what I appreciated about when the Star Tribune did this for him was the ads,
Yeah.
like the little red Corvette ad in there.
Baby, you're much too fast.
Baby Much Too Fast, the full page ad
Yeah.
that was in there. All the ads, like Menards did an ad.
They
Menards is a big hardware. They were like the box store before box stores.
Yeah, we have them here.
You have one there, yeah,
Well, there's
and
one.
so they. That's one of the things I loved in here. There's
Yeah.
a section in here of local tributes and advertisers, and it was like all the advertisers in here, spot on
Just
put in
recognize,
they
yeah.
put in an advertisement that was related to him, and I just love it.
This is the insert that came with those pictures up there, and it's probably the same
Yes,
one
that's-
in there.
and I
When
think
we
that's the
ordered
one I'm
three
talking
of them,
about,
Yeah,
yeah.
this is the one that
Yeah.
has all the ads, in
Yeah.
it, which is awesome.
Let me see that.
Yep.
We're not going to take it out because newspapers can be so fragile. But if anyone has this, does take it out and handle it, when you open this is the insert section in the newspaper that was dedicated to him, and there are advertisers in there who did a really wonderful
Yeah.
tribute to him.
Yeah, the Corvette ad was.
Yeah,
one
the
of my
Corvette
favorites.
ad was great.
This is the Chanhassen Villager. So I have a good friend. I'll give you a shout out, Laisa Sonia Thompson, who lives up there in Chanhassen, just minutes from Paisley, and so she'll send me stuff when she can. And
That's awesome.
I have her on the hunt now at the
Let me come
Twin
over
Scheme
here.
store to pick me up some of the special merch. You know, there's this purple shirt with the state of Minnesota, but it has the Twins logo on the side and the Prince symbol in the middle. Only available at the ballpark, so she's
Wow.
gonna give me that. But yeah, so this is the Chanhassen Villager from May, but talks about the purple effect, Flores share Prince stories past and present. So it's always good to hear, stuff from people who work with them. And then these are just some of the newspapers from after he transitioned.
Yeah.
This is our local plain dealer here. USA Today, the New York Times, Wall Street Journal. I mean, just
Every major.
He
Yeah.
touched the world.
publication.
yeah,
He touched the
absolutely.
universe. Yeah, it was just amazing.
And I think that, it's hard for people to understand who haven't been, like, I think Shannon's very supportive, but she just doesn't get it, right? No offense, but she just doesn't get the connection. And
Most people don't.
yeah, right? And so, like,
And it's okay.
I mean, I can, like anybody watching or anybody who collects, you can think of times in your life and you can associate that time with a Prince song or a Prince era or anything like that.
When Prince passed away, our local newspaper and news channel immediately contacted me for.
Yeah, I actually watched I watched the news thing that I think you posted it or somebody posted it. Yeah.
And it was really interesting that you said it, because that's what they said. They said, "Wow, was he such an impact for you?" And I said, because I can go back to every milestone of my life and tell you the song that was
Yeah.
attached to it. I said, so, and I think their next question was, well, how did you feel when you found out he died? I said, the soundtrack to my life just
Yeah,
stopped.
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And I get goosebumps because, I used to think about like, I've always been a collector of things in my life, sports memorabilia, whatever, but I never really got like attaching to an artist except for Prince. But like I would see like people that collect Elvis stuff at Graceland, and I was like, man, I just don't get it, right? And then when Prince passed away, I was like, my gosh, I'm so happy that I experienced what I experienced and I have what I have because,
Yes.
it sounds tacky, but you got me through some hard times, man. I'm sure you can relate.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's
I can think
totally
of
not tacky.
The
That's
song,
right on.
where he says so low that the curb looks like a skyscraper. I've been there, right? And a lot of people have, and it's like lyrics like that just resonated with me. So, but yeah. So we can get back to your question.
Oh, well, we can
and
cover the
flip to
soundtrack
this
thing,
side
the
too.
soundtrack to the life, because everybody that follows MsLulu and I knows that his passing actually led to us meeting.
Okay.
So it can play a huge part, and some people don't get that. But no, we can totally relate, and all the thousands of people watching, they relate too. So
Yeah, that's why I love the group. I mean, because it's like, it really, again, sounds cheesy, sounds tacky, but I've never met anybody from the Five and Dime until today, and luckily it's you two. But like, it really does feel like a family. Like I've done business transactions, and it's just people get it, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they do.
Well, thank
they
you
do.
for those kind words. It's really,
What's
really
your
nice.
third question?
The third question is, of everything we've seen, what is your most prized gem, the one holy grail item that you have?
Well, it was the One Night Alone box set, but then when I lost those CDs, now that's kind of complete. But I would say that I kind of have two. So the Neo Manifesto book that still has the film strip.
Oh, you got the film strip,
Which
yep.
is,
The Viewer?
super
Oh, and
rare.
you
Yeah,
have- you have the Viewer
film
strip.
strip and the
Very
book.
nice.
And
So-
then,
Let's see the other
so
side of
that,
that.
yeah, absolutely.
Can you talk to people who are not familiar
Yeah, so
with the book and the film strip.
Never real clear on the purpose of this book. This is just one of the many things that that Prince would put out back in the day. But it's just kind of a cool book of just like trippy photos. I don't know how better to describe them. They're kind of like, they almost look like 3D photos, some of them. And it came with the film strip, which I never folded to look at the film. I would just hold the film up to the light. Eric probably knows the history behind it better than me, but it's just a really cool piece that I would definitely put up there, and I'll show you my second one. But so this was the viewer that
Oh, and I'm
came
sorry,
in.
and I did not. If you weren't, thank you for opening it.
Oh no, it's
but
all good.
Thank you for that.
And that's the film strip. I don't know how well that's gonna show up, but
Well, yeah.
and so the thing that I like about this is you can find the Neo Manifesto book, but you can't find it so
The
much.
viewer,
with the viewer,
is
right?
very difficult to get.
And so that's the logo that we looked at on the Most Beautiful Girl in the World shirt over there that I love. That, yep. But if you can see it's rarely open, but just it's kind
You
of
can hear the pages. Yeah,
kind of
that's
trippy pictures. Like,
It's fantastic.
yeah. So I would say that's one of my favorite collectibles, and then I would say my other holy grail, if you will, is the puck box of Crystal Ball with the insert.
the hockey puck.
The hockey puck, yeah. So it has the lyric book, and I ordered this from 1-800. Was it 1-800-NEW-FUNK, right? I think it was, or was it just the NPG Music website? But so it's got that. Now there's an interesting 5 and dime story behind this as well. That sadly has a little crack, but the other thing that's cool is you can see that the bottom of the puck says 97 NPG Records.
We'll get it on there.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So I ordered this when it originally came out and played the dickens out of it, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then somewhere along the line, when those discs got stolen on my car, I had disc number 2 in that thing from Crystal Ball. So I was missing disc number 2 from this, and it just drove me crazy. And it was the first thing I bought on the 5 and dime was this disc number 2 to recomplete the set.
So you were actually able to put together a boneyard piece. That's something that I've been working on creating is like a boneyard collector's site, which is like somebody that has that but doesn't have disc number 2.
Right.
And somebody that has the book and needs the cover.
Right.
So
Right.
and
that would be awesome. Yeah.
there's a thread on the Paisley 5 and dime
There's a
called the
thread.
Boneyard thread.
Oh, cool.
And it's specifically for that, and it kind of took off for a little while, and then it got buried. So
Well,
it's on there somewhere.
The Controversy Classifies.
Mhm.
Also, that's a place where people.
But yeah, I
are
was
going
pumped. That's where I got this. I was
awesome.
like, okay, it's complete again. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I can't believe I'm missing.
So you have the 5 disc.
Yeah, the Kama Sutra and the Truth, right? So
Yep. Kama
RPG
Sutra.
Wars. Yeah.
Yeah, that is a very tough CD to get. I remember once upon a time when the 5 and dime did auctions, there was a
I love the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there was
I
a
love all
What's your
There was a
favorite
girl
song
that-
on the Truth?
auctioned
Well,
off.
Don't play me.
Don't Play Me is a
Yeah.
great song. Yeah.
I mean, all of them. I mean, Dion. All of them.
The one I can't listen to is Come Back.
Yeah.
That
Well,
was very
this is a
sad.
question
That makes
I
me
always.
sad.
This is a question I always want to ask Prince collectors, and
Mike has a question for all of you.
yeah. So like, let's be real. We all have a Prince song that we just couldn't groove to. We just didn't like. For me, it was like there were 2, Daddy Pop and Strollin'. I just didn't feel those. I couldn't get them. So I would say those are my least favorite Prince songs. But anytime you ask fans, it's like they don't want to say, oh, everything's great. Everything's not great. I mean, so to me, those are my
Right.
So what are your least favorite songs if you're watching or?
Well, I can answer. My least favorite is Purple and Gold,
Okay.
Yes.
the song he did for the Vikings.
Yeah. Oh, that was brutal.
Yeah, that was a rough listen. Now Strolling, oh God, I love
You
that.
like that?
Strolling.
That is like one of the jazziest.
Okay, now
I
is
can
jazzy.
put it
You
in the
have to
car
listen to
and
both those songs 10 times in a row, each, and just you're gonna have to.
and
like,
Daddy Pop. The story
And we'll
behind
have to
Daddy
listen
Pop
to
has
Purple
never
and
been
Gold.
confirmed, but just because I followed the career and the lyrics so closely. Daddy Pop is his tongue-in-cheek slam at Michael Jackson, naming himself the king of pop. Michael Jackson self-proclaimed the king of pop back in the early 90s, like 90, 91. And then in late 91, early 92, Prince comes out with Daddy Pop. And it was whatever you can't do, Daddy can.
Gotcha.
The one and only Daddy Pop.
Maybe I like it.
There's a couple lyrics in there that if you listen with that state of mind, you're like, oh yeah, yeah. He was taking a little stab right there. So
yeah, there was always that.
It's his little humor. So we just got a notification that actually my phone is starting to get a little low.
All right.
But we'll get to the other question. Is your holy grail that's out there that you want? Something that you've seen, or a few items that you've seen.
I mean, aside from something that, you know, like he wore or something, that would be pretty amazing. I mean, I think a holy grail item would be something that he personally owned, like a, guitar. If money was endless or something, right? Or, so is that the question? If money was no object?
Yeah, we'll take it both places.
So if money was no object, I would love to have one of his stage play guitars, right, as with most people. If money was an object and I had a holy grail item, it would probably be, I'd probably love to replace that, it's going to sound crazy to some people, but that One Night Alone box set, right? You know, just because that was so, I still have the one disc I still have from it is the After Show disc.
Oh, it ain't over.
Yeah, it ain't over. But I'm missing the others. Now, I don't know that that's a holy grail to most people, but to me, it's just something that I'd like to put back into my collection. So
you have all the CDs, all the standard catalog besides that one?
yeah, I do. Except for some of the, I don't have like some of the stuff that was released, like Chocolate Invasion, and that was all digital. Release,
Those were
right?
just digital, yeah.
Yeah, so I
you're
don't
not
have that,
missing
but everything else, I didn't put that stuff out because everybody has that stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, what I would love to have, and I think everybody watching would love to have, is for the estate to release the piano and the microphone
Yes.
in 2016.
Yes.
And we know it's there because you saw it played.
They do have it.
Yeah, and I'm sure, and Scotty Baldwin was the front of house guy, and I'm sure it sounds fantastic, and it was great. That would be a holy grail item that I think most Prince fans would want.
Oh yeah, yeah. We definitely want to get our hands on those. So, in closing, do we have any questions or anything from?
If anyone has any questions?
Oh, one more holy grail.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, sorry. My piano microphone
yeah.
tour book, right? So I ordered this about, I don't know, two weeks or so before he passed from the Electric Fetus. That's not stuck to the book. That's just in there. Yeah, no, it's just a, see, it's just a.
What was that?
Yeah.
sticker.
Oh, okay.
It's like it's stuck on the
Sticker
book.
in there.
You're like, you didn't put that on the book.
No. So that's obviously
That's
highly
awesome.
sought after. Great it's his last tour book, and then I kind of
Yeah,
dig
let's go through this right here.
Yeah,
so
I
we
know
didn't
you're
get
running
through
low on
this.
battery.
Well, no, I want to make sure we don't miss it.
Okay.
And I want to do one last thing when we
Sure.
are wrapping up, but there's something I want to wrap up with.
Some Betamax, right? My daughter's like, what are those?
Betamax.
And I was like, that's what,
Exactly.
that's what we had before
You're
we
not
had
crazy, Abby.
Yeah.
digital, right?
Look,
So,
there's 3 betas in one
Betamax.
place.
yeah. Well, my dad thought he was really cool when he bought a VCR, but he bought a beta machine instead of VHS.
He
It's
was
like,
trying
Dad,
to be
really?
cutting edge.
You bought a beta? Well, I didn't want to say it. I was just grateful that we had something to play movies
Right.
on. And he came home with Beverly Hills Cop, and we were watching that. And then I was like, so then I got these. But yeah, so I hung on
That's
to those.
fantastic.
As most people know, that's been re-released in the Purple Rain Deluxe package. So that was kind of cool to see that in better
Did
quality.
your
And
did
the
your
Betamax probably looks better than the video they released.
Yeah.
That's the sad part.
Yeah.
did your
The audio
dad
was
watch
good.
those with you?
No, my dad. That's my dad's. My dad and I had that. In
Rat
common
Pack,
right there, the Rat
absolutely.
Pack.
That's
So,
fantastic.
Yeah. Couple other things before we run out of time. I mean, just.
Oh, we're not.
Oh,
that
no,
short.
no, we're good on time.
Sign of the Times. This is weird because I've seen people say online they can't find it, but I found it on Amazon, and I think is this just like a European release or something?
There-
the Japanese
well,
or
a lot
the-
of times it's hard to find a region 1 for people
Oh,
in the United
okay,
States.
I got you.
Finding a region free, if you find it region free, it's probably a bootleg.
Yeah.
But the import versions, it's not hard for people in other countries to get this. It's just difficult for us to get it.
Right. I love these old catalogs too. These are kind of cool
Yes.
and unique. So
Oh yeah, some of these just sold on Five and Dime.
yeah, I saw that. So this is, this is my old address. When I live with my dad, I'll cover that up.
Yeah.
But you can see that these are original.
I love that.
Yeah, and so inside there's if you want to open it, you can and show the stuff. And then these NPG catalogs are pretty cool as well.
Kimberly Myers Hale says, thank you for doing this. I appreciate a fellow Prince family member and how much he loves Prince.
Oh, happy to.
I love these.
Yeah, we can open those.
I love the catalogs. I love to see,
That one's still sealed up. I'm not
what's kind of
that one's
cool
right
is to look at the old MPG store catalogs and look for items. And we actually saw someone last night at our friend Danielle's purple party in Canton, and her birthday party, and someone was asking us about a bracelet, if we had ever seen it, and she thought that it had been in the MPG store, and it was something that we hadn't seen, but we are trying to research it with the guitars.
I mean, look at some of this stuff. It's like a hookah thing, I think, right there, right? Isn't it? Or atomizer? Like, I've never seen any of this stuff out there in the marketplace, but posters, yeah, that's the poster that was in the catalog.
That's the poster that came in the catalog. I love that hat.
Yeah.
And then color photos of items. Yeah.
And this guy right here looking like a young Van Jones.
Yeah, it does look like a young Van Jones. There's the original Tamburaka, which, is ridiculously priced now, but back then it was $29.
Well, and back then we were like $29.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And here's the Get Wild.
That's something that I
Cologne.
kick myself every day for.
Yeah.
Shannon, you probably remember this bottle.
It was $30 if you ordered it from the store. $29.95. Now it is, if you can find a half bottle, is about $300.
Oh, don't tell me that.
It's
Eric.
cologne.
If you can,
Remember the
It's
bottle of Get
cologne.
Wild cologne I had with the furry?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think during one of the
Empty
moves, it was like
bottles.
almost
Yeah,
50.
it was home, I think when we went from Columbus.
And I was like,
Some mover was like, just swept
so,
that
I
off
mean,
with
that
it.
pains me greatly to know that it was
I
like,
can't believe you got rid of it. I didn't really realize.
who knows? Maybe it's still in a box somewhere. But
Sacrifice of Victor book for $24.
$24.
Yeah.
I just,
that's that book right
I
over
love
there.
that book so
minus
much.
the dust jacket. And this was some of the stuff that came inside of the catalogs.
And the Sacrifice of Victor book now goes for, on average, hundreds for hardcover and softcover.
Yeah.
With the dust jacket.
With the dust jacket.
Without the dust jacket, who knows? But
Those are fantastic.
yeah, and then so some of the we'll just show you the official releases, right? But some of the official releases that I always thought were pretty cool were the Beautiful Experience with the I always dug this little
love that.
fold out
Yes.
that came with
the
it.
butterfly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool.
So if people notice, the butterfly insert is separate.
Yeah, there's a liner notes in
And then
there as
there's a
well.
liner notes in there as well, just so if someone's making that purchase or looking for that they know that they're getting the package
Right.
of what it should be.
The Betcha by Golly Wow with the poster that came in it. The CD is the CD, but thought that was a pretty cool poster that came
Yeah,
in there
beautiful.
with the world famous glyph guitar. Stuff like that. It's just kind of cool that you can't necessarily find easily anymore.
This piece, that's the thin one. Part 1 to this CD was fantastic. No, this is it with the
Holy River.
Yeah.
Somebody Ultra Fantasy
Great
mix.
song, yeah.
The Ultra Fantasy mix. For those of you who do not have the CD, go get it because the Ultra Fantasy mix is far better version of the song. It's way, way, way better.
And this is a German one of Get Wild. like you need to pick your funky outfit, short and see-through. You got it going on in the gold dress. I just
Why
wanted
don't
to
you try it on tonight when you get dressed?
Woo! I think
see.
I think we are going to be here for dinner because they're going to be exciting. Then they're going to put back on Under the Cherry Moon, and then they're going to be exciting the entire reciting the entire Prince catalog.
No, I was like
and they could do it.
with him, and he's just sitting here. He goes, I forgot what he said, but he just started quoting it.
So you were speaking to your father, and then all of a sudden he went off into purple land.
We were just kind of sitting here, and he just looks over and he just starts going like looking at it, and he starts.
I think
was this earlier before we got here?
Yeah.
You was watching,
Sometimes what I say a lot is, you know what happens when you marry a stupid person? You have stupid kids.
Don't believe me?
Yeah.
If I'm stupid, get home. See if someone's stupid, don't answer the door.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I always say the Eureka store.
Turn on battery
So,
saver.
Abby, if
Mike
you
turning
wanted
on
to buy
battery
a
saver.
Sam Cooke album, where would you go?
The Reco Stove. All right. See, again, that is like a high five right there.
And then the
High five.
and then the
We
long
have
boxes are kind of a
5%
thing of the
on the
past,
battery.
5% on the battery, so we'll get through this
long
one.
box.
The long
Around the
long
World
boxes
Today.
are cool.
Around the
They're
World
so
Today long
cool.
box is a little different because the CD actually came in a cardboard
CD
slipcase.
actually, and there's probably in my CD player.
And this is probably the one with green German German pressing.
And the last thing before we run out of battery that's really cool is like this. I forget. I'll cover up the old ad. Nobody lives there anymore from my family, but I'll still cover it. Paisley Park Enterprises. You can see it's got the Minneapolis stamp on it, but this was a letter that on Paisley Park letterhead. Dear NPG member, we're excited about the release of our upcoming new magazine. So it's just kind of cool that
that is so cool.
yeah, I mean, it just came from Paisley and it's on the letterhead and all that stuff.
And he has some other amazing.
Real quick, I told Abby I would show you the
back here.
stuff that her and her brother made.
Well, actually, that is what I wanted to wrap with. So I'm
Yeah.
so glad you walked over there. So Abby, talk about
so
what
this is
you all
like-
talk about what you've done for
So
your
we
dad.
never know what me and Gavin over here. We never know what to make Dad for Father's Day. So we always think, okay, what's the one thing he likes? Well,
Prince.
one of the main things he likes.
I love
Prince.
him.
And so I made this when I was 9 or 10. This big portrait,
She's
and then this
13
year,
now.
yeah. So this year, Gavin had the idea to make this big
that
symbol.
Yeah, that one
See,
kinda broke a
it
little
kind of broke a little bit
with
there.
clay. They baked the clay.
Yeah, because it broke in the oven. But then this one, so I made this little Prince head that's from the Hit and Run, right?
Very good.
Oh my god!
Look at that.
I think I'm gonna
That's
cry. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I made his little the album cover. I think
That's
it came out
awesome.
okay.
That's awesome, and that symbol is fantastic.
Thank you.
Now
You did
this
an
is
amazing job.
that's an original pendant from the old NPG.
Yes, it is with the purple gem
Yeah.
in the center of it. Yeah, that is original. Super
Wow.
sweet.
That's gorgeous. All right.
And then Shannon
Yeah.
got me this candle about 2 years ago at a candle shop down in South Carolina when we were there. So we burn that for special occasions. So
we
on,
feel very special.
birthday, transition date, and Eric and MsLulu visit days.
Wow.
you.
How about that?
That's something else.
Thank you so
Well,
much.
yeah, thanks for letting us come into your home, and it's an impressive collection.
Thanks.
For anyone that Mike was worried that his collection was not going to be big enough, or it's just a modest collection. Every collection always has that one piece that gets everyone's attention. No matter how big or small, every collection has that. So, in closing, when we come to your town, we're going to come see you. We want to see your collection too. So, Mike, how was it?
It was awesome, man.
And we want to thank you because it was quick notice.
Yeah, I'm just grateful for the opportunity to share my collection with folks, other fams around the world, and to finally get to meet the one and only Big Raj, Aaron Rodgers, up here in the 330 and MsLulu, and it's just awesome.
Oh, it's our honor to be here. We're super excited about it. And Gavin, Abby, and
Landon.
Yeah, he's not having anything to do with us.
Landon, what's your favorite Prince song?
Oh,
He's not
we're gonna
my
work
child.
on
He has
Landon.
blonde hair. You see,
Oh, did you hear? He's not mine. He doesn't look like me either. No, thank you for
Thank
letting
you
us
for
in your home. All of you, your family is beautiful, and the collection's
We're going to
beautiful.
thank her and all the spouses out there that are not fans that put up with us. and give us a little section of the house to do our thing. Thank all of you. So if you've got a spouse that tolerates your collection, let them see that. We thank you. We really appreciate it. And thank all of you for tuning in. Overall, you were the ones that make the Five and Down what it is. So from me and Miss Lulu, thank you so much. You all have a great night.
Peace and be wild.
Yeah, yeah. Wild sign.
Yep. Awesome. Thanks, man. That was awesome. Really appreciate
That was
it.
fantastic. Thanks for letting us